What is going on, YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics Collectibles, and welcome back to another video. You guys know what day it is. That means it's time for the Hot 10 Comics of the Week, the breakdown. If you guys aren't familiar with what I do in this video, I take the 10 hottest comics according to the Key Collector app, and I go through them one by one, letting you guys know if I'm a buyer here at these prices or if I'd be staying away and possibly even selling. Before I get into every video, you guys know that I ask you guys, if you are not a current subscriber and have been digging my content, I want you to go in and click that subscribe button for me now, because it does help the channel out. And of course, I want you to smash that like button because it helps the algorithm out so more people can find my channel, of course. And then turn on the notification bell, let you guys know whenever I post a new video, Tuesdays and Thursdays. But guess what, guys? I got something awesome coming for you another day, hopefully next week as well. With that said, we're going to jump right in here. At number 10 is a copy of Amazing Spider-Man #1, the second appearance, of course, of Spider-Man, but also the first appearance of the Chameleon. This is one of my all-time favorite Amazing Spider-Man keys. Everybody rags on this cover, how it's not as great as Amazing Fantasy 15. To me, I've always loved this cover ever since I was a little kid. I remember my LCS from way back in the day had a copy of this on their wall. I've always admired it. Regardless, a CGC 1.8 just sold last week for $11,100, up 6% since February. You guys don't even need to ask. You know I'm 100% a buyer of this book. I have my copy in a 0.5 grade. It is the only incomplete book I have in my collection. It actually has no back cover, but I think I paid like $2,200 for it a few years back. Probably worth about triple that amount now. So it's the only incomplete copy I have. But yes, I'm a buyer. If you can afford to own a copy of this book, I would go ahead and grab one while you still can, because it is extremely pricey, as you see, even in low grade. At number 9 this week is a copy of Marvel Superheroes #18, the first appearance of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, you may guys obviously have seen the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. This is an entirely new set of Guardians. When this book first appeared and we got the first appearance of this group together, it's a totally different characters than you guys have seen before. It's not, of course, Star-Lord, Gamora, all those guys. It is a totally different group. With that said, a CGC 5.5 recently sold last week for $412, up 3% since August. I bought this book a few years back when I heard Guardians of the Galaxy were coming out and there were going to be a movie. Unfortunately, we got a totally different Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm glad they did, because the characters we got are freaking awesome. I'm not too crazy about the characters that are included in the first appearance of the Guardians, and that's why it's a thumbs down for me. I have no idea what they plan on doing in the movies in the future for the Guardians of the Galaxy. They may bring in some of these original characters. They may not. To me, I think it's way too late to buy this book. It's an awesome book to have in your collection. I recently sold mine maybe about 6 to 7 months ago. If you want to buy a copy, go right ahead, add it to the collection. I just don't see it going up in value. And to me, that's why I'm staying away. At number 8 this week, guys, is a copy of Strange Tales #170, the second appearance of Brother Voodoo. There has been a rumor out there that Brother Voodoo is going to appear in Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness, and this book has been going up ever since we got that rumor, maybe about a year and a half ago. No idea if it's actually going to happen or not. It seems like everybody's going to show up in this movie, so that remains to be seen. Either way, a CGC 8.5 recently sold last week for $375, up 126% since September. Somebody out there thinks that they know something, but we're going to find out sooner rather than later. To me, you guys know I'm not a second appearance collector. I don't want to spend money on second appearance books unless I can get them for ridiculously cheap prices. And to me, to spend almost $400 on the second appearance of Brother Voodoo, what happens if he doesn't show up? Then what? This book's going to drop like a bag of rocks. I'm staying away at all costs here. If you want to own the first appearance of Brother Voodoo, and we'll cough up for that, go right ahead. To me, second appearance, I'm not doing it. At number 7 this week is a copy of Fantastic Four #25, the first solo battle between the Thing and the Hulk. I have also owned this book before in the past and recently sold it probably about 6 to 7 months ago. Regardless of my opinion, a CGC 6.5 just sold last week for $960, up 10% since September. Believe it or not, this is also the second Silver Age appearance of Captain America, believe it or not. Am I buying this book right now? While I love this book, it is a great Silver Age key to have. I'm not spending close to $1,000 on a first Hulk versus Thing solo battle. To me, I'm not doing it. If you want a Fantastic Four book, I'd go after that Fantastic Four number 12 the first time they meet. They don't really battle in that book, but it's the better cover, the better story. To me, that's the book I'm buying, and I'm staying away from this one. At number 6 this week is a copy of Journey into Mystery number 112, The Origin of Loki. Now, while I love these Silver Age keys, these books are going up, I think, a little bit too late. CGC 4.0. Just sold last week for $335, up 12% since July. Now, we have learned lots of things in the MCU over the years about Loki, including his origin. I'm not sure why this book is all of a sudden spiking 12% in just about a year. Regardless, it is a nice Silver Age key to have in your collection. I'm okay with spending $300 on it because it is a major character and an origin story of a major character. But to me, I don't want to spend $300 to add it to my collection. I don't know where it's going to go in the future. Because it is a nice Silver Age key, I believe it always will go up. But I want to put my money into books that I think are going to go up quicker than this. Awesome book. I'm just not feeling it right here at this time, guys. At number 5 is a book that's been all over this list for the better part of a year. It is a copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 16, the first Daredevil and Spider-Man crossover. That's right, this is also the 4th appearance of Daredevil, believe it or not, and a CGC 3.0. Recently sold last week for $600, up 21% since January. If you guys can't go out and buy a Daredevil number 1 right now, I think this is almost the second or third best thing you could do if you want an early appearance of Daredevil. Am I spending $600 on a 3.0 copy? I am not. I have my copy because I collected 1 through 50 of Amazing Spider-Man and completed my run just about probably 2 years ago. Yes, I own it, and I still want to own this book. I just can't justify the price paying $600 for a 3.0 copy. It's just not worth it for me. I know a lot of guys out there love this book, and believe me, it's worth collecting for anybody's collection. I just don't want to spend the money here on this book right now. So to me, it's a thumbs down, but for you guys, it may be a thumbs up. So keep that in mind. At number 4 this week is a copy of Bloodstone number 1, the first appearance of Elsa Bloodstone. Now, this book was on the list maybe about 6 to 7 or even 8 months ago, and it is hot back then. This, of course, is the rumor that Elsa Bloodstone is going to be appearing in the Blade movie down the line. There is no, truth to that I know of. Right now, it's just a little bit of a rumor. There's a character called Ruby that they think may become Elsa Bloodstone. No idea, guys, and that's why, to me, I'm not buying this book. Regardless of my opinion, a CGC 9.2 just sold last week for $359, up 21% since December. Now, if you guys have been missing out, this book, like I said, was on the list earlier this year or late last year. That's when you should have bought this book when that rumor first started. Now, it's too little too late. I'm not spending $400 on a 9.2 copy of this book. If you want to own it, I think you got to own it at a 9.6 or a 9.8. And by then, it's too much money to spend on this character. So, as I say, I'm staying away from this one, guys. At number 3 this week is a copy of Thor number 126, the first title going over from Journey into Mystery into the Thor. Now this book is all of a sudden titled Thor. With that said, this is a classic Thor versus Hercules cover, one of my all-time favorite Thor covers, and a CGC 5.0. Just sold last week for $300, up a whopping 40% since September. I bought this book mistakenly about 6 months ago when I was on a live claim sale. I mistakenly thought it was the first appearance of Hercules. It was not. It was actually still a key, though. It was the first, like I said, Thor in his own title going over from Journey into Mystery. So I bought it. I paid about $90 for it, and probably around the same grade. Now, all of a sudden, at a 5.0, it's close to $300. Do I want to own this book? Yes, I do. I think $300 is a little bit too much to spend. But yes, I'm still a buyer of it because I do think it's an important key. I want to own it, especially with Hercules rumored to come in Thor Love and Thunder. Of course, Zeus as well. This is also, I believe... this is not the first appearance of Zeus, but Zeus is an important character as well, so keep that in mind. At number 2 this week is a copy of Thor number 1, the third cameo appearance, and believe it or not, the first cover appearance of Jane Foster as Thor. We all saw the trailer. We knew way back then that she was going to come into this movie and take on the Thor mantle. And a CGC 9.8 Mile High exclusive copy just sold for $420, up a whopping 127% since 2020. Again, when Kevin Feige told you guys what was happening, that she was going to take on the mantle of Thor, Jane Foster, that's when you should have went out and bought this book. It is too little too late. I'm not spending close to $400 something on the first Mile High copy. Again, I am not an exclusive variant buyer, guys, so keep that in mind. If you guys want to go out and spend money on this variant, go ahead, be my guest. I'm just not doing it. Again, I think the regular 9.8 is significantly less than that as well, so keep that in mind. Too little too late. We saw the trailer already. We saw her in it. Gonna be cool. I'm staying away from the book. And at the top spot is a book, again, another one you guys should have picked up maybe about a year, 8 months ago when they first started talking about this character. It is a copy of Journey into Mystery Annual Number 1, the first appearance of Hercules, and believe it or not, Zeus. Now, I'm hearing that Zeus is confirmed for Thor Love and Thunder, so everybody's speculating that Hercules is going to be in this movie too, in a CGC 2.0. Recently sold last week for $300, and that, believe it or not, ties the high sale for a 2.0 since January of this year. I have been hunting this book for the better part of a year, and it seems every time I find one, whether it's at a show, at somebody's live claim sale, it is just ridiculously overpriced. I would love to own a copy of this book. Yes, I am still a buyer of this Hercules, of the first appearance of Hercules. I do believe they're going to do something with this character after this movie, and hence I still think at $300 for a low-grade copy, it's still worth it. Keep in mind, these Silver Age annuals are usually in bad shape, so $300 for a 2.0 is not that bad. 100% a buyer of this one, guys. With that said, guys, this is the Hot 10 breakdown of the week. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this list. Do you agree with my picks? Are there any out there that you disagree with? I'm always interested into what you guys have to say. With that said, it's time for my best buy of the week. And there are a lot of great books on this list, a lot of books I want to own for my collection, but not a lot that I want to go out there and actually spend the amount of money that they're going for right now. So keep that in mind. My pick is going to be none other than Amazing Spider-Man number 1. If you guys can afford this copy of this book, even if it's in low grade, even you see I have an incomplete book, the only reason I own that incomplete book is missing the back cover. You can always buy one and add it and marry them if you want to. I don't really suggest that, but if you want a complete book, that's what you can go ahead and do. If you got 10 grand to shell out for a 1.5, 1.0 copy, you should be buying this book. If not, stick to some of the other Amazing Spider-Man books. But that's my best buy of the week. And with that said, this is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics Collectibles saying thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.